Okay, and within today's video, we're going to be giving you a complete guide to Google Ads and specifically location targeting and how important this is for local businesses to have a successful or unsuccessful Google Ad campaign. The one critical mistake that many businesses make when advertising is having incorrect settings for location targeting. So in this video, we're going to be covering how important these settings are and how you can change these settings to enable you to have a successful ad campaign. So the costly mistake most local advertisers make. So as we touched on there, it all comes down to the settings within your Google ad campaign relating to the location targeting settings. And this is really, really, really important, but totally fixable. So having the correct settings can really determine whether your campaign is a success or it really does hemorrhage money each and every month for your campaign. The problem manifests in two devastating ways. Businesses generate leads from people outside of their service area, making these leads unsustainable, and pay for clicks that users in wrong locations who never convert anyway. So if you don't have these settings correct within your location targeting settings, then you are going to be wasting leads, wasting clicks, and obviously wasting your budget. So, or impossible. So why does location matter critically within these campaigns for local businesses? Well, obviously within this, you've got customers that will travel to you within the local area. So for example, businesses such as gyms, retail stores, restaurants, and other brick and mortar locations. And then there's the idea of businesses that you travel to. So many businesses such as landscaping businesses, painting or home repair, and even mobile service businesses, they're going to travel to the customer. So it's really important that within these businesses, they have correct location settings when marketing their products and services to this audience. And within there's obviously the defined service area. So beyond this radius, businesses become impractical or impossible to use. So it's really important to ensure that you have the local settings for the area and service area of your business. So when your ads are shown to people outside this service area, every click represents wasted money. So even worse, when an out of area prospect becomes a lead by filling out a form or calling, you've invested even more into acquiring a customer that you actually cannot serve. So it's really important to have that nailed down area and radius for your business within the service area that you want to target. So moving on to the default setting problem. So Google wants maximum reach at all times. So Google Ads default settings are designed to maximize that reach or your Google ad reach and not efficiently for your local business. So out of the box, Google wants you to show your ads to as many potential interested people as possible. So when you're setting up a campaign within Google Ads, always have that in the back of your mind that, yeah, okay, Google wants me to have maximum reach, but within that, they're going to be casting a wide net, and you then need to go into the Google ad or the campaign and manage that to be able to fine tune for the local area that you want to target. So it's important to understand exactly how Google location targeting options work before you go into a Google ad campaign. And it's essential for avoiding this pitfall of ensuring not spending your advertising budget only on people that, become maybe irrelevant customers or irrelevant visitors to your website. Okay, so then how do you then go about this? So step one is defining your geographical area. So initially what you would want to do is determine what is the geographical area that you want to serve with your business. So the first step on that kind of path would be to access your location settings. So create a new campaign or edit an existing one that navigates that local targeted section that you want to go for. The second is reject default broad areas. So that's where you want to clear out the areas that are irrelevant to your service area. So Google defaults to entire countries at times. So you really need to clearly mark that out so you're not getting inappropriate traffic from some of these other areas. Number three there is to enter your city or town. So specifically focus on the actual service area of your home city or your hometown. For example, here we have Bath in England. So you would be wanting to focus on purely Bath in England as your service area, if that is where your business wants to operate or is operating and wants to market to the local community. And then the fourth on the list here is to use radius targeting for flexibility. So set distances from a central point to 10, 20 to 30 miles based on your service area. So this ensures that obviously you're within your service area still. However, you have that flexibility to go a little outside if needed, but obviously you're not going too broad. And that's really important to determine your geographical area to ensure that you're only targeting and marketing your product or services to the audience that you want to within your geographical region. Okay, so step 2, the critical location option setting. So this is where most obviously advertisers make their crucial mistakes with Google ad campaigns. And that's why we've got it in bold there on the presentation. So after defining your geographical area, which we were just talking about, there is the additional setting, which we would call, and Google calls, location options, that many people never click or adjust. They just set up their settings and then go ahead with the campaign, where this is really, really important. Location options is something that you really need to be targeting as a local business when using Google Ads. So this setting is absolutely critical for local businesses and their success with Google Ads. So you've got the two options. Option 1 is the default, which is for people that are regularly in or interested in your target location. And then you also have option 2, which is for people that are in or regularly in your target location. Now, as we've highlighted on the two areas there, the two box areas there, is that the first option would be wrong for local businesses and the second option would be the correct option. And we will get into the differences and reasons why in this video. However, just remember that when you are going down to that location option settings, ensure that you're going to be editing that to go for option 2 over option 1, and that is in or regularly in your targeted location. The differences between these two options can seem really subtle, and often many people miss to click or even change the option there for location options. However, the impact on the performance of your campaign can be absolutely enormous. So it's really important just to remember always to check and edit the location option on your Google ad campaign. So as we dive into this a little bit more in regards to what do they define as interest and presence when you're looking at the location option settings. So let's just give it the tourist analogy. So the tourist destination problem, which a lot of cities and towns do have when they go through this location and trying to determine which area is the best for their Google ad campaign. So let's consider a local roofing company in Bath in England, for example. So it's famous for its Roman architecture and obviously it's very impressive historic tourist attractions in Bath. So then in that position, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to be coming through the city as tourists and purely just interested in the tourism side of Bath and not the local people that want to be working and operating and buying your service or product in the city. So with interest in targeted enabled within a Google ad campaign within the city of Bath, your ads might show to someone in London, Manchester, or even internationally that are interested in maybe Bath as a tourist destination. They're researching the city's history, looking for real estate from afar in Manchester or London, for example, or they're even just reading or coming across travel blogs in the area. Or even they're reading or coming across travel blogs in the area. These people might click your ads out of curiosity or confusion, but they really have zero interest in becoming actual customers to your service or product that you're providing within Bath. So it's really important to have it fixed that you've got, the dish. So it's really important that you obviously have the correct settings for the options between interest and presence. Obviously, you always want to be focusing on the presence of the people within the city and not people of the interest, so you don't get the outside noise of potential tourists or people that are not in the city and operating in the city for your current service or product that you're offering. And as we've outlined here on the slide, is that 40% is lost in potential waste. So a portion of the budget that you have for your advertising campaign can really just be lost in interested traffic rather than present traffic for tourist destinations. So if you are in a tourist destination, it's really, really important more than any place to have this setting correct. And as you're looking at the numbers there, it's $1,000 plus of monthly loss that goes to spending money on these advertisement campaigns that are really just targeting tourists or people from afar that are interested in the city of Bath, for example, rather than people that want to be come into your store or come into your location or property where you're selling your service or product. And then ultimately that would include 0 rate of commission. So you really have got traffic coming in, people that are going to be clicking your website, but they have no intent in converting or turning customers. So the additional optimization is the call out method, we call it. And that really is how is the call out method that you're using within your ad headlines and how that then focuses in the local area that you're working within. So examples here would be a genetic headline would be professional roofing services for a roofing business, but a more location specific headline would be bath-based professional roofing services. So as you can see there, the second option is a lot more related to what the company provides as a roofing company, but also within the location that you're focusing on, which is obviously Bath in this instance. So there's two critical benefits here. So you have immediate clarity. So anyone who sees your ad knows exactly where you're located and what you serve. And then there's the self-selection. So it discourages people from outside your area who maybe are not a good fit for your campaign or your business or services. So it encourages or discourages, for them to go and click your ad campaign because the headline itself describes purely what you do and where you're located. So it would help to kind of reduce that irrelevant traffic to your ad campaign. And a pro tip there that we like to use is to use the headline pinning to ensure your location specific headline always appears in position number 1, which is guaranteeing you to which guarantees for people to visibly see your ad and its impressions. So it's a really important point to kind of just note, but it's actually a nice alternative that people don't sometimes use. Okay, so down to website level protection and smart bidding. So you've got your 4 areas here. There's obviously you want to be focusing on configuring your location settings, so selecting in or regularly in your target area and excluding interested areas or users. So website level protection, smart bidding. So these are the kind of changes and updates that you would also be wanting to make on your website that helps then with this targeting within the local area that you really want to focus on for your business. So we have 4 areas there that we want to kind of discuss and touch on. So you want to be configuring your location settings. So select only in or regularly in for your target area and excluded interested users so you don't get that irrelevant traffic. Add location callouts. So include your service area predominantly in your headlines, as we mentioned earlier, and pin to position 1. So clarify also on your website, display service areas above your contact form. So as an example here with the bath-based roofing business, you would put something along the lines of bath-based roofing serving Bath and surrounding areas. So that really just focuses and clarifies who you are targeting and where you're located. And then 4th item on the list there is to enable smart bidding. So this uses conversion-based bidding so Google can learn and convert and optimize so use smart bidding. So this uses conversion-based bidding so Google learns and converts and optimizes your delivery accordingly. When combining with conversion-based bidding, these strategies can create a really great cycle for your campaign. As Google's algorithm sees that as an outer area user doesn't convert, they automatically reduce and add delivery to similar users. The campaign becomes progressively more efficient over time and is a real effective component to have for part of your Google ad campaign. So take action today and implement these changes that we've just overviewed in our presentation. So take action today and implement these changes that we've discussed in the video today. So take action and implement these changes today. So as we've talked through in this video, the 4 to 5. So take action and implement these changes today. The implementation checklist that we have here is for the 5 items that we've discussed in the video. So again, just to overview quickly, is number 1 was to review your current campaign to check if you're using default interested in settings. Number 2, use location options. So switch to in, regularly in, and don't have the traffic coming from places that are just purely just of tourist interest. Number 3 is revise ad copy. So add location call out to your headlines where you can. Number 4, update your website. So have clear service area and area messaging within your website as well, not just within the Google ad campaigns. You want to be making these changes and updates to your website too. And the 4th and 5th one No. So take action and implement these changes today. So our implementation checklist is the following. We have the 5 items that we've kind of covered in this video here today. So the first is to review your current campaigns. Check if you're using default interested in settings. And then the next step is number 2 is update your location options. So switch to in or regularly in only when you have the location options settings. 3 is to add location callouts to your headlines. So you want to be adding location callouts to your headlines. 4 is then updating some of the website copy and headlines to match what you've done with Google Ads. So add clear service area messaging, as we've discussed. And then the 5th one is to enable smart bidding. So you want to switch conversion-based optimization as the focus of your Google Ad campaign. And then you'll see the expected results of reducing unqualified clicks, a decrease in unsuitable unusable leads, and an improvement in ROI. And if you want help with helping your business, and if you want help with scaling your business with Google Ads, feel free to complete the form below. And if you want help with scaling your business with Google Ads, there is a link below where you can book a free strategy call with one of our team.